Chuck Erie and the Joel Natale Show. So appreciate you tuning in on a Thursday, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. Certainly Christmas is not far away, especially if you go to the Watson-Curtze Mansion on West 6th Street, a part of Erie's Millionaires Row. It's the Hagen History Center, and here with us is the program director, Pam Parker. Good to see you. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate having you come in, because I feel like one of the really key centers of gravity for the Christmas celebration around here is at the Watson-Curtze Mansion on your campus there.
We are decorated. Every year we're decorated. Every year it's different. And every year when I walk through, I'm like, you love what's there. And I think, oh, I remember when we had, and I think, don't do it. But it's, every room is decorated. It is just fabulous. I don't even know where to begin. It's like,
let's go back to the Victorian era, because I would love to know, from what you know, what your knowledge base is for the history of that family, of the Watsons in that home. Like, what was Christmas like back then in Erie, PA?
Well, a lot of people didn't have electricity, so they would truly use the candles on the trees, which is one of the most frightening things I think I've ever seen.
Did they
in my
have
life.
oil lamps in the house, or did they have electricity?
They had electricity.
Okay.
So, they also had plumbing, so they were,
They were
when he built
advanced.
that house, he made sure he had.
What year
everything.
again was it built?
1891.
91.
So, yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So a lot of the trends then, it all comes back again. So it's like this year bows. I mean, I saw my granddaughter had this sweater like this with a big bow on it, and then the next day she had another one on, and then they have the neck bows. We have bows everywhere. Bows were very popular then. Like they did paper chains, so we have a lot of, not chains, but and ours of course are much prettier than handmade that I would make.
Yeah.
I mean, a paper chain I would make. They're paper snowflakes. We have paper ornaments. They would do the fruit, so there would be gilded fruit, and we have that on a lot of the.
When you say gilded fruit, what does that mean?
It's
they put gold leaf around the.
Well, no, I'm sure they. I mean, it's just for us. It's probably just paint.
Yeah.
But the colors were very Victorian. There were some mauves. There's some dark. There's one tree that's very dark. It's got a lot of black in it, but it also has a lot of bling. So a lot of the things that people would have used, their garland and their tinsel would have been more jewel-like, which is what we have. Stephanie, I got to give all the credit to Stephanie Hunt from Copper Carriage. She pulled this whole thing together. There's a tree in every room, at least one. In fact, over the this weekend for Victorian Holidays, we're going to have scavenger hunts for how many trees are there. And I was trying to count. We did this last year because it depends on how you count. Are you counting only decorated trees with lights?
Yeah.
Or are you counting every tree there's more than 50 in the entire building.
In the building, you have 50 trees.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all of them are bigger than all three of us put together.
Yeah.
In a pyramid. But there are also smaller trees there. And then there's also the natural that they would have done too. So there are berries, there are twigs.
Okay.
Very colorful things. Again, weaving some paints through there. So you see a little bit of gold. Very natural looking, but very, very attractive. All of the mantles are just beautiful.
I was going to say, yeah.
And wreaths. Wreaths were a big thing.
Wow.
So there, we have a lot of those. So it brings a lot of the old back in, and I think I remember when I was a kid, and my mom's, I'd go through her clothing and go, boy, I'd wear this, and it was 1940s.
And it comes right back.
And it was, I was thinking, plus it was made better than anything, but it does come back, and some of it will never go out of style.
Where did the family relax? Was it in that front room?
They were it's a front room, but it would be the northeast room, which is the
northeast
library.
room.
So the
library.
library, we have pictures of them kind of sitting on their couches with the dog.
Did they have their kind of tree there?
There was a tree in there. We had photos of a tree in there. And then the parlor, which is opposite that room on the other side of the house, so it would be the southwest room, which is very formal with the formal wallpaper. That room was where they entertained. That room
That's
was
where the
really,
visitors
really
came.
has the snazzy wallpaper, which is kind of a replica of what, I mean, this obviously isn't the original wallpaper, but
Sure.
it duplicates it as closely as possible. And then, just really nice stuff in there. I mean, some very, very nice collectibles, statues, the piano.
Yeah. Again, there you have your exhibits as
Right.
well,
Right.
in addition to
Right.
decorating for Victorian Holidays.
Second
right?
and third floor, so there's plenty to see of those exhibits. And we also have to make sure that we mention Bobby Selecki's exhibit,
Yes.
which he says hello. And his exhibit is in the Wood Morrison house, so just across the driveway. And he's on the second floor. And we've had incredible traffic to see his exhibit. It's just so well done. And he and his family worked so hard on it.
They did.
And, of course, our people worked on
Right,
it too, but
right.
yeah, it's everything that you look at in there, you will look at something and say, "Oh, I remember that," or "I remember that."
If you grew up in the Polish American enclave,
and the neighborhoods, so.
What do we know about Wood Morrison back in the day? That house,
Actually, that house predates the mansion. So,
Does it?
Wood was a surgeon in Navy. They were both Navy guys. Wood and Morrison were both Navy guys.
Okay.
So it's more of a certainly not as opulent
Right.
as the mansion. I mean, the mansion's probably 3-4 times the size. It's a house. It's a very nice house, but it's 1850s. It's not
1850s.
Yeah,
So
it's very pretty.
At the beginning of
Right.
photography, did you have any photographs of Wood?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you
There's
do?
photographs
Okay.
of Wood. There's photographs of all the Morrisons because the Morrisons passed it down through the family.
Okay.
And the Woods weren't there that long because then he went off to be the Surgeon General, I think. So they weren't there.
Isn't that remarkable?
I know.
Some of the really prominent Erie'ites that go to a national level like that.
Yes. Yeah. The naval guys and all naval guys.
Well, I'm thinking of even Mr. Scott, I mean.
Exactly.
He was a congressman,
Right.
was a friend of William Howard Taft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unreal when you think
It
about
is.
it.
And then in the mansion, the exhibits that we have, some of them are temporary. So
Right.
on the second floor, we have founding families, which is really interesting because when you go in there, you will recognize all the names. But what you don't realize is some of those names that are really from the originals, it was their family members who carried through that benevolence of what they did. And let's face it, some of them were business people, so
Sure.
there's no benevolence there, but they made Erie. And Laura Sanford is one that just impresses me so much because her father started things, and of course it was a wealthy family, but she was a journalist. She wrote the first history of Erie County and illustrated it, so she has paintings that she's done. It's just the things that are in our collections that we've put out for that, and I'm just using her as an example. All
Sure.
the families are very interesting. The things
Talk
that
about
they've
the
done.
Reeds and
Right.
Starretts. And,
Yep, just a really interesting exhibit. And the one that we have that's hand-picked is an exhibit of items that each one of us picked, some volunteers and staff members that we chose from our archive that people would never see. But and every one of them has a story. I mean, I could spend hours in there.
What was your pick?
I picked, actually it was, we have doll houses that are just fantastic. I mean, the characters look so real. But this was one, it was a schoolhouse, and a gentleman did the whole thing. And you look at it and you would think Mark's Toys made it. I mean, it's
wow.
just, and it's not very big. It's only about this big, but just very impressive things like that. The wood that used to carry the water, the waterways.
Oh, yeah.
Which was an Orange Noble, I think, came up with that whole thing. We have a post on him today. That's why his name's stuck in my
Orange
head.
Noble, yeah.
But when you look at it, you think,
He was the mayor, one of the mayors.
I think he was, yeah. And then carried the water through, so some of those things.
Yeah, the original pipeline was made out of just hollowing out a log.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Wow.
And then we have a peanut roaster. We have like one of the some electronics that were like basic electronics, but people used them like in the Navy and military. And like I said, everything has a story and everything. And the flag, of course, the flag that draped Lincoln's coffin, we have that.
That's, yeah.
We can't take that out all the time, though. We had it out for quite a while, and those textiles you're not supposed to have out and under lights.
Okay.
So it does go back in, but it's out. So that's out. And then upstairs from there on the third floor, we have the Sisters of St. Joseph celebrating 165 years, and the St. Vincent exhibit, 150 years. And when you walk in there and you see that exhibit, it's like there's a photo of Dr. Heibel in there, and he was my parents' cardiologist. And I'm looking at him like, oh, my God. You know, it's like, yeah, I feel
right.
I feel really old sometimes. And I'm thinking, I knew them, I know them, I know them. And the sisters, all of that, you know, the sisters founding the hospital, and then the sisters across the hall. And you know, Villa Marie Academy, St. Joe's, just...
Isn't it remarkable that, I mean, I'm sure we've lost a lot of history, but because we had this Erie County Historical Society all these years, we retained a lot of that history.
Yeah.
And so we kind of know from where we've come from.
Yep, we have plenty. And more to come next year. We're going to be doing more.
I'm going to take a quick break. Then I want to go and talk about, you know, kind of how people can get involved with the Victorian holiday, because I tell you what, the Victorian holidays at the Hagen History Center. Stay with us. It's Talk Erie. Pam Parker is with us here from the Hagen History Center. We are talking about the Victorian holidays. You got a nice spread there, Pam, and so tell us about, you know, what folks can can sign up for, what they can expect, some of the special events and things like that.
Well, the fun thing is everything is reduced admission thanks to our sponsor, and the sponsor is Erie Federal Credit Union. So
Nice.
we are, our members can come for $3 per person and $15 a family. We're offering family membership, or memberships, not memberships, where you can come in.
Family admission, yeah.
And then non-members, it's $5 for adults. Children under 6 are always free. And then $20 if you're a non-member for your family. So, you know. I could take you as a family.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's really, and then what you see is, you can tour on your own. So you can tour the entire mansion, and then of course go over to Bobby's exhibit, and then you come into the carriage house though to purchase your ticket, and then you can tour on your own. You don't have to do anything specific. We have little things for kids to do, kind of like scavenger hunts, like we were talking about. Like how many trees are there? How many snowflakes are there? How many stars are there on trees? How many nutcrackers? Because there's one room with a lot of nutcrackers, and I counted.
We're cracking the nuts.
I counted them 3 or 4 times, and I'm thinking, I think I missed the big one.
Oh my gosh!
So it's just a lot of fun stuff for people to do, and then we will have docents all throughout.
Okay.
I'll probably be there tomorrow. So it's we open at 10 every day. Well, except noon. It's noon on Sunday.
All right.
But tomorrow 10 to 5, Saturday. 10
So
to
it
5.
starts tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and we're
tomorrow.
decorated now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not $3, but
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
decorated now. So
Wow.
and then we stay decorated. I always tell people we're the only ones who stay decorated right up to January 5th. So if you miss this weekend, you didn't miss the whole thing. You can certainly come in.
So taking a selfie, is that all allowed and whatever?
We have giant gingerbread men. Just anything that you can imagine, it's in there. You got to go to the 3rd floor because there's a train on the 3rd floor that you can take a look at, and the trees up there, everything. There's not one room that doesn't have something really cool in it.
Now, also, obviously, the new exhibit hall is open, right?
Actually, the new exhibit hall is not open. Where Frank Lloyd
isn't.
Wright is, no, that's closed because we're under construction, and that is going to be fabulous. When it
All right,
opens.
we'll save that. We'll save that for a little bit here. I did not realize that we're already. I mean, what is this? Less than 5 years. We're already.
Yeah. The office stays exactly the same as it is.
Yeah.
But the area around it is going to become the Frank Lloyd Wright Field Office Museum. So we will have things from the trust, the Frank Lloyd Wright Trust. I mean, it's really going to talk about Frank Lloyd Wright. It's going to be the first and only exhibit that we know of that is specifically Frank Lloyd Wright.
So that's amazing. The closest built home is up in Buffalo, right?
Oh yeah. There's a few up there, Gray Cliff, and then the Darwin Martin.
And then of course we've got Falling Water down in the Laurel
which is also
Highlands,
very impressive. But they are not, nothing of all the houses and the things that he built really talk about him and his history.
So this is going
We're going to do it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so you're going through the house. You're going through the Watson-Curtze Mansion. You're going through the Wood Morrison house for the what are we calling that officially?
Well, that's a military museum. So
Yeah.
the whole first floor is all military. Tells you about the Woods. Tells you about the.
But
Morrisons.
Bobby Selecki's.
Bobby's on the 2nd floor,
which is
and there's
what's
an elevator.
called
That's the Polonia.
Polonia.
exhibit.
That's
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
word I
We
was
love
trying
that.
to come
Yeah.
up. Yeah, and again, it's basically all the parishes and all the immigration from Poland to Erie. It's
Yep. And how people
unbelievable.
settled and why they settled where they did, and again, pictures and artifacts, really rare artifacts that are, something you'll want to see.
Unreal for sure. So you go through the mansion. You can go through and really get a sense for kind of the era, right? There's a reason we call it Victorian Holidays, basically.
Right. And it's been Victorian Holidays now for a while. I was trying to remember back to, because we used to be part of, do you remember the Holly Tour? The Philharmonic Holly Tour, and then there was just a Philharmonic Tour. And then we started it with Victorian Holidays, and it was a full weekend. Okay. And we coincide also with the Women's Club. And it also started to coincide with everything that goes on downtown.
Downtown Delights, yeah.
So it's been years, but then it's hard to say how many in a row because we had COVID. And then in the beginning, it wasn't necessarily Victorian Holidays. We were part of a tour.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But the credit unions have been with us. They've been our sponsor the whole time.
Oh, that's fabulous. And folks coming in, is there any pro tips of how they should approach seeing the exhibits and things?
I guess I would go through and do, I would see all of the trees and all of the decorations first, and then I would probably just spin back through again and see everything. And I mean, you can spend an hour, you can spend a couple hours, you can spend a half a day.
I mean, if you dig into some of the family stories, like what is it, Winifred's room and all that
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
Winifred. Well, and
it's
the
really
founding
poignant.
families.
Some
oh
of
yeah,
this stuff.
oh yeah. Some of the and the pictures. Like I said, that portraits. We have these beautiful portraits on the walls. That you look at things and you think, boy, those people look pretty nice.
Right.
Nice clothes too.
Can you imagine?
And you have to stop in the gift shop. And
I was
one
going
of
to
the
say,
things
let's talk about the gift shop.
You want to stop in the gift shop is we have maps.
Oh, really?
We have maps. They're about this size.
Yeah.
They're $25, and I can even give you a rundown of what we have.
The Map Central on 6th Street.
Glenwood, Mill Creek, Erie, 1851. Erie County maps, Fairview maps, Bird's Eye, Erie, 1870. 1883, 1909, 1855, Bayviews, downtown Lawrence Park, 1926. Those are what we have right now, but we're going to have more.
So you're getting these scanned and printed?
We had,
or?
yeah. So we did it.
Can you imagine Lawrence Park in 1926?
They're just so neat to look at. It's and right now they're not the biggest ones. I mean, I would need one to see what those are. I would need one that big.
Right.
But I don't know that we'll have those wall-size maps, but we are going to have bigger ones too. So it's impressive. It's we were looking through them the other day at our staff meeting, and it was just so fun to sit there and look at the street names, because the street names were all different.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooper Road was
Lots of
38th
fun.
Street.
Yeah.
Cooper Road went all the way across.
That's right.
Before not that long ago, actually, was it turned into. I remember growing up, 38th Street, East 38th Street Boulevard. You know.
Yep.
All those wild things.
And we have plenty of other gift ideas, but I knew that would be one that you
I mean, for the normal people, what would be a good? What are some of the good
ornaments? A lot of ornaments.
A lot of ornaments.
We have some beautiful Erie apparel items, cups, mugs, different things, museum related. We have books. We always have books, and it's just one of those where if you have a history lover in your family, you want to come down and take a look.
Do you like? I mean. Can you get like what were you mentioning, the original was it Starrett or Sanford that was like the original? Can you get some of those old histories? Of Erie?
Not right now, but this is one of those things we're really, really delving into.
You're thinking about
how
it,
do we, now that it's getting easier to do things digitally, and you can get something that is so reproducible like the maps, and they're clear, they're not like you took a picture with your camera and it came out blurry when you blew it up. It's we're looking at doing some more things, so you can expect that in the future.
Yeah, I was amazed to find again, talking about geography, the John Nolan plan.
Oh yeah,
which you guys have an image of in the new part, which is like a shocking map, because he wanted to build a green belt around the city.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's unreal. Stay with us. We're talking to Pam here on a Thursday. Don't forget, Victorian Holidays at the Hagen History Center kicks off tomorrow at 10
a.m.
10 to 5?
Yep.
Stay with us. Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. It is 4:34. We're on Facebook and YouTube. And Pam Parker is with us here from the Hagen History Center. And Pam, you gave me another list here beyond the Victorian Holidays, which do kick off tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
That's right.
All the way through New Year's, right?
Well,
on what days?
The pricing is our sponsor takes care of this pricing for this weekend.
Okay.
After this weekend, the prices go back up to members will be free.
Okay.
And that's the great thing about being a member. But prices will go back up to $8 a person.
And that's a typical admission, right?
Right.
Okay.
And we have lowered that because we talked about how the one building is closed right now because we're under construction because it's going to be spectacular when it reopens.
All right. Again, you're talking about kind of building maybe one of the defining museum experiences in the country.
That's exactly
for Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yep. And you'll have takeaways, lots of interactive. Zebra Dog is the company that's working on this. They're out of Wisconsin, and of course that's where Frank Lloyd Wright, the Taliesin, Wisconsin. They are very tight with Taliesin, with the Frank Lloyd Wright Trust. They've gotten all kinds of artifacts for us that have never been on public display before, and you'll be able to leave with. You can make your own stained glass window. You're not gonna. It's not stained glass, but you can print it, and you'll be able to take it. It's not. It's It's gonna.
Was
be
he
like
really into it?
Stained glass. Oh yeah.
I guess I didn't know that about
windows.
him.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Most of his houses, not the lower priced ones,
right?
But some of the smaller ones. There's stained glass in there.
Was it him that designed the S.C. Johnson wax?
Yes.
I mean, that is an astounding.
Oh yeah.
And that's Racine, I think.
Yes, and the
Wisconsin.
Marin County Civic Center, which is so big you can't get it in one picture. I mean, everything that every time we try to put a picture up, it is just so big that that was the biggest one that he did, and then he also did a doghouse, and we have pictures of both of those.
Of the doghouse, that's awesome. Let's talk about the a follow-up. You guys were so gracious to have us out at the Battles Farm. Were we in the Yellow House?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And it was right in the peak
of
sunflower season. Maybe we might have been like a week late, but it was still amazing. I was astounded at how many people came out.
Oh, yeah. The estimate is 20,000 people, and based on just parking alone. We had, and they were from everywhere, literally from everywhere. It was national news. It'll be national news again this year because we're doing it again. And we'll be more prepared because we've been through it once. So we'll have some options for parking that won't be so difficult for folks. And lots of activities, same activities as last year. They were very popular. So, and that window of opportunity is short. They look fabulous for 2 weeks, then they start to wane a little bit, but they don't look bad. I mean,
no.
When people were asking in October, are they still in bloom?
No. So when were they harvested?
They were harvested. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. Maybe even a few weeks. 3 weeks. They got them all in a couple of days, and
they use the heads. Is that what they're using?
Yes, all the seeds.
All the seeds.
So they are harvested. They're at Wild Sunshine Factory, and they'll be made into liquor at some point in the future.
A couple different kinds, right?
Oh yeah, and then we'll get some next year. So, and people will say when. We don't know when because they do a lot of liquor for a lot of people, including themselves.
But that's quite the. It was. I wanted to say it was like $500,000 worth of liquor coming out of this, or something like that.
Probably not out of ours, but I mean, out of it. It will depend, and I mean, it will depend on. It's like anything else. I mean, we've had our own beer too. It's like you get a great batch and you get some that's and then it depends. I mean,
interesting.
And we're not selling it anyways. I mean, at this point, we won't be able to sell it on site, but we will be able to have people from there come and help us sell it. So we're working the way to make sure that we can get people and samples. They do. They're just fabulous. The folks from Sunshine, they come up and do sample. They did sampling at Twisted Elk.
Okay, yeah.
Our folks, our friends at Full Circle Winery, so they worked with them, and Full Circle Winery will be able to do some things with it. So
interesting.
As soon as we know, everybody will know.
Speaking of, what is it, Elizabeth Battles, right? What was her name?
Yeah, Charlotte Elizabeth.
Charlotte. What was she a big Christmas decorator? Do you know?
We have some photos from out there, and actually the volunteers from out there, just like it was volunteers who did down here, have done some amazing things out there. Just amazing. There were tons of Christmas decorations. A couple of years ago, it was a blizzard. They had everything. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. I don't know how they had those ornaments hanging onto the fence out there, but they did.
Wow.
And it was just stunning. It is difficult for us to do that out there because we do winterize the buildings.
Right.
So, and in the years when it wasn't so bad, when you knew that your winter wasn't going to, or that the holidays weren't going to be that bad, we would open them pretty regularly. But in the past few years, it's just been, running water. I mean, you just can't open them up and worry about electricity and,
Yeah, they're a summertime kind of thing. I wanted to see if we could do a quick preview of 2026. It's kind of a big year.
It is.
It's our 250th. What is it? Semi-quincentennial.
Yeah,
right?
I gotta look up all those words.
Semi, which means half. Quincentennial, which is 500.
Yep.
So 250.
It is. We have a lot of things going on. We have a nationally significant exhibit that will be Oliver Hazard Perry. We have from an auction, actually, I think it was his brother's family, but it's collections of letters, photographs, really emotional stuff.
Wow.
Not war stuff, although there's some of that in there. So it's delves into who was he, and he's young. All of these heroes who died, they were young. They're not.
I was going to say, how old was he?
I think he was 30 in his 30s.
He was in his 30s when he died.
All of his quotes, letters to his father, letters to his wife, and then he had five kids.
Grew up in Rhode Island, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's quite a nice collection. Some of the portraits are just fabulous, and that will be coming. That will go into Wood Morrison House.
Okay.
So that one, the architects are still working on how we're going to get that, but that will be in there. So that'll be something perfect for America 250.
And if you come out, you could still see Perry's sword, right, and his eyeglass.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's all there.
Yep. Everything will. Well, that's being moved over there because that was in kind of our welcome area.
Oh, okay.
Everything will be in one area now, which is
Gotcha.
Nice. Which is kind of the way it should be. But
sure.
we can't get everything. We got so much stuff.
You have a lot of stuff. So a new Perry exhibit again. You could make a claim it should be in Rhode Island. You could make a claim it should be in Put-in Bay.
Well,
but
got
it's
it now.
right here
That's
in
right.
Erie, PA. I love it.
So that's that will be one of the big things. We do have our own plans, but we're not going to announce till January for interactive. People will be able to do some things with a QR code, and we will be pulling everything together. It's called I think it's Hopes and Dreams. I'm messing this up, Adam. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But we're going to be doing that, so we'll be announcing that in January, and people will be able to submit some videos and tell us what they want to do with a great memory. It's memories, hopes and dreams.
Okay, so
this
is more kind of the story of us type of approach.
It is. So we'll be doing a little bit of that.
I love that.
That'll be. We'll start that. We'll kick that off in January, and it's got all different levels to it. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So much of this is kind of based in the family narrative, the personal narrative. I think about, what is it, StoryCorps
that's exactly
PBS
what it's like.
does, or NPR.
That's what we were talking about, was doing something like StoryCorps. And I remember with WQLN, they would say people sit in their cars and will just sit there and listen until it's over with. So people would be late for work.
These riveting conversations.
Oh my gosh! And then they would revisit people. When some of those where it's just, tug at your heartstrings.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, that'll be great because, again, there are a lot of stories of success and heartache and just reality.
Yep.
Erie's one of those towns that's pretty gritty. We don't have a whole lot of celebrities here.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot of folks kind of working hard and trying to make their families better and make the place a better place. Talk about America 250. What ideas that you guys got going for that?
Well, that will be the big one, and of course, everything that we have going on with Perry.
Okay.
And then we're also going to be collaborating with some other folks. We'll probably be collaborating with the folks from Crawford County on a couple of different things. And there are a lot of, we've been collaborating over the past few years with a lot of the smaller historical, and they're utterly incredible what they've done. Canadota Lake got kicked off like a few years ago, and they've already got a building. It shows you how much people appreciate history because they're putting their own money into it to making these things happen. And when they all come in, we've had I think 3 or 4 different historical societies now come in and do a temporary exhibit. And again, they're just what they come up with and what they bring in is just really you walk in and just it's just.
Well, we got acquainted with a lot of that through the genealogy things that we were doing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you still have that every year?
Yeah. They're still with us. They're they rent space from us, so they don't rent.
But that big event that with all the tables and stuff.
Yeah. This year, I'm not sure when or how that's gonna. And I think they want to change that up, so I can't speak for them at this point. But yeah, that's very popular, and genealogy in general is. Everybody wants to know. Again,
the story of us.
How do I do this? Yep.
So, I don't know. Are we having a parade? Do you know?
That I don't know. We aren't part of that.
You don't usually do
at this point, but there are other things that we're talking with other folks again in collaboration of what we will be doing.
You guys were involved with Perry 200, right? Trying to think.
That
was a lot from
really
the Jefferson.
Me now.
Yeah, I know. It was
yes.
It was a family effort.
Yep. Well, and remember there used to be the Heritage Festival. Remember that? The Philharmonic would play. WQLN would do stuff, and they did it down on the Bayfront, Liberty Park.
Okay.
Yeah, remember that had a life. We were involved in that for years.
Yeah. The desire for history doesn't go away, does it?
No.
So talk about, you said that Mark Scolia is working on a World War II book.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing with World War II now?
January 17th, we're going to do something with Battle of the Bulge. We're going to have reenactors. There's going to be a presentation. And as I was pulling together, and this is all Adam. Adam comes up with these ideas. Adam and Roman, one of our volunteers, and Mark Squalia, and of course a bunch of other volunteers, and our archivists. And when you sit and you read about that stuff, and it's just, and the photos, and we're going to give people kind of a look at what happened. The spies, give you a chance to pretend you're a spy. So it's going to be a full day on the 17th, and it's going to be in Wood Morrison.
Okay.
So that it'll be, the whole military thing. And the reenactors that we have are going to be, it's just going to be really exciting. When we had reenactors the last time, I think they were Wood Morrison, they came in with all different uniforms. There were just 4 or 5 of them, and I can't tell you how many people came in that day. There were hundreds of people came in just to see them, talk a little bit about, what was this and why was it important, and who were you, and it's just really, when people take the time to do that, and that they know their history, so they talk to you and tell you all about it.
And we still have a few folks around that were children during the war. They remember, the rationing and the blackout drapes and all the things.
And we've done different things with students, with whole classes of, this is what it was like, to be. And I had said when they were doing one, I remember crawling under the desks.
Oh, yeah.
When we were in grade school, it was, the drills, get under your desk. And that wasn't World War II. I wasn't.
That was more the 60s.
But it's, teaching them of this, this was daily life for people, the things that they did. And this will be the same thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that war. And
that sounds like a great start to the Hagen History Center in 2026. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Pam Parker is with us. again, go over some of the details for Victorian Holidays. They kick off tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 10 to 5, we're open, and Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday, noon to 5. So you can come in if you're a member. It's $3 per person and $15 per family. Kids under 6 are always free, no matter what, kids under 6 are free. And then if you're not a member, the price is $5 per person, $20 per family, and again, the kids are free. So
Fantastic.
it's and yeah, you can tour all day. It's just it's just if you need some Christmas spirit and you need to kick a little life
50
into
plus
it.
trees will help you.
It's just like I said, every day, and I walk through every day. I walk through, I see something new.
Wow.
I still don't know the count on the nutcrackers.
Yeah, the count of the nutcrackers. So I'm asking everybody this month to share like a childhood memory of Christmas. Anything that really sticks out to you, preteen years or what have you, or a special gift.
I think the thing that I never realized how important it was, like to my parents, was they would always give us a stocking. We didn't do like funky stocking stuffers that probably cost as much as a gift. It was fruit, it was nuts, it was specific candies that my dad remembered, and I even remember the candies. But that was so important to them because they grew up through the Depression and they never got those kinds of things, fresh fruit. So that was what, because my brother and sister and I would be like,
why am I getting an orange?
Yeah, exactly. And then when they explained it, you sit there and you just get tears in your eyes, and think, boy, this was a big deal because they didn't have stuff like this. This was, where it was, what was it? They had to have margarine because there was no butter. And I remember my mother said she would never eat margarine again. She didn't care. She got all the I don't care. I'm eating butter. Wow. So I think that would be just thinking how important that was to them.
That's special.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Now, I try to give the candies to my kids. They don't care.
It's lost on them.
That's right there.
But wow, that's special. Well, congratulations on. I know it's a lot of work, and actually the work kicks in tomorrow with
it does,
bringing in literally hundreds and hundreds of folks.
People love it,
but you can't miss the Watson-Curtze Mansion at Christmas.
Fun. And we also have an app. I got to tell you that.
Oh yes, please.
Bloomberg Connects. Anybody can. All you have to do is put it on your phone, put the app on, and we pop up immediately because we're the only ones who have it.
So what is it called again?
Bloomberg Connects.
And that's what you want to look for?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're the only ones that have it. It's got to be a couple 100 miles before somebody else. All right. And I worked on it, so.
Beautiful. Good work on that.
It was fun.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.